Associated Press Yahoo poll shows the race for president is nearly neck and neck. Barack Obama leads John McCain 44-42 nationwide, but that 2-point lead falls within the margin of error. With us now, Republican pollster Chris Wilson, Democratic pollster, and Fox News contributor Doug Schoen. Chris, let me go to you on this. This is an internet poll, and also the dates, and it began October 13th and ended a while ago. So I wonder is this really as accurate as the daily tracking polls we're seeing?
You know, it's not, and the way they're marketing it is not so much as a representative sample of Americans. It's more of an interest poll. But I think what is interesting is there's also an Investor's Business Daily poll out that has the race at 45-42. And I have to point out, this was the most accurate polling the Investor's Business Daily poll was going to 2004. So it does. I think you can look at the numbers and see the internals, see that they're closing, see that they are not. The race is not as far apart as it was whenever the stock market was tumbling, and this race has gotten a lot closer now.
Well, some of the internals in the AP poll that we're talking about, for example, it shows Obama's more trusted on the economy, 56-41. McCain losing ground in favorability, 21-point spread in favorability last month. Now it's a 5-point spread. So that's trouble for John McCain.
If I'm Barack Obama, I'm far more troubled by recent numbers coming out of the ABC News Washington Post poll that say that 45% of Americans still don't think he's qualified to be president. That hasn't changed at all since March, and that's really what's keeping Barack Obama from being able to close the deal here. Until he can show Americans that he is qualified, then you're going to see this race stay where it is. You're going to see him stay under 50, and you're going to see McCain very well poised to win on Election Day.
Doug, do you see the polls closing as the AP poll suggests, or is that poll not as relevant as some of the other things out there?
Well, it was also a panel survey, Alan, which means they went back to people they interviewed 8 times, which really pollutes the data. I think it's a 5 or 6 point lead. I think Barack Obama has a steady lead in virtually all the battleground states. It's certainly competitive. To me, the number that's most important is Barack Obama's vote, which is somewhere around 49-50%. So it isn't a 13-point race. I don't think it's a 2-point race. I think it's a competitive race where Obama has a clear advantage.
And Chris, isn't the issue the electoral votes? And you look at the electoral map, and various people have put out different estimates on the electoral map, and Obama is leading and practically clinches it in every one.
Well, he is, and I think that's really, Alan, you're exactly right. The key point there is the states that McCain has to win. But you can still look at the electoral map. You can see the states that are still within play, those that where the race was within 3, 5, 7 points. And if McCain is able to sort of run an inside straight there, the same way he did candidly in the primaries, then again, it gets back to a situation where you can see him getting 271, 274 votes on Election Day just based on the way things are stacking up right now.
What states is he going to win to do that? I mean, Virginia hasn't gone Democratic since 1964. It looks like it's doing it. McCain's given up on Michigan. What states are in play enough to make McCain a victor here? Well,
Virginia's got to be one of them, Alan. He can't win without Virginia. He can't win without Florida. He can't win without Ohio. Pennsylvania would be an added bonus, but you can see how he gets there without Virginia. Without Pennsylvania, assuming he were to win Colorado and Nevada. These are all races that are really within the margin of error. And if McCain's able to strike there, then again, you see a situation where he can get to 271, 274 on Election Day.
All right, Doug, how likely can he strike in those particular states enough to put him over the top?
Well, yeah, without spin, Alan, it is an inside straight. He's behind in Colorado. He's behind in Nevada. Pennsylvania looks like it's out of reach. Florida closed a bit today. Missouri has been opening for Obama. So it's a real stretch. Look, it's a competitive race, but bottom line, the electoral vote is somewhere between 280 and 320 for Barack Obama. Now, that's pretty comfortable. I'd rather be where he is than John McCain.
Chris, why is it that likely voters, why will we go to likely voters? Does it do a lot better, and is it a really tight race? What does that mean?
Well, I could spend hours talking about that, which obviously you don't want to hear. But the bottom line is when you get down to your more educated voters, which is who likely voters are, those who are more likely to turn out, those who have done research regarding issues, you do see an electorate that it tends to be historically more Republican. And I think that's why you see these big discrepancies between a lot of media polls that do registered voters and some of the internal ones like Doug and I do that are more likely voters. I'll give you a perfect example. In 1980, on October 27th, Jimmy Carter led Ronald Reagan by 3 points in the New York Times polling. You can look at that and see registered voters. You can look at that and see exactly
and Reagan won by how many?
10.
Yeah, but I went back and I looked at all these past races, and we had the same problems in 76, 80, 84, 88, 92. I mean, this is almost every election cycle.
It is.
They've gotten it way wrong, and usually almost all the cases in Democrats' favor.
It always is. I'll tell you, in '96, I was on Dole's polling team, and the New York Times had Clinton up 22 points. Now, he won by 9, but 22 points and 9 are a lot apart, and that was, we were seeing completely different numbers internally at the Dole campaign, and it was really sort of distressing to see these public numbers that were so far off being
reported. Let me go to Doug because we're running out of time. This idea, I'm seeing Obama coasting. He's out there bragging he's going to change the world. They're preparing their big victory party. He's drinking champagne and eating Iranian caviar without preconditions, according to the New York Post.
That's pretty funny.
You like that? If he's coasting to victory and he's going to change the world, is he getting a little?
Sean, I don't think that's
here?
the case. Good rhetoric, not the reality. What's happening is Obama's got more people on the ground, more ads, and a more aggressive operation because the polls show the bigger the turnout,
I agree with
the
that.
better
But wait a minute,
Barack's
that's not my
gonna do.
point. You're answering a different question. I'm saying
coasting.
publicly, for those people that are watching him preparing the victory party, eating caviar, saying to the world he's going to change the world, and mocking Joe the plumber.
Only in your mind is he doing that.
I know,
you look at the rallies, you look at the ground operation, the phone banks,
I know.
the advertising. He's got a much more robust campaign.
I still
than
don't
McCain.
get the unrepentant terrorist thing. So who am I? I don't get sitting in Jeremiah Wright's church for 20 years. But what do I know?
But
I'm
the
a
electorate
conservative.
gets economic crisis. That's what's driving this election.
I know. It was the Community
It is.
Redevelopment
That's
Act
what's
of the
going to win
Democrats.
this election for Obama.
Hey, you're sitting
All
in
right,
the
coming up, liberals dig into